It's not uncommon for a former president to retire abroad, seeking a peaceful life after leaving office. However, when this departure happens mere hours after the new president's inauguration, it raises eyebrows. Such was the case with former Senegalese President Macky Sall. In a grand ceremony, presidential candidate Dio Maifei, who won the election by a significant margin, was inaugurated as Senegal's new president on April 2, 2024. The event saw the presence of numerous heads of state and regional representatives, including Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, Ghana's President Nana Akufo Ado, Chair of the African Union Commission Musa Faki Mahamat, and delegates from the military governments of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. During the ceremony, attended by Sall and his two wives, President Faso emphasized the election results as a clear call for change. He pledged to lead Senegal towards a future of hope, with a focus on peace, an independent judiciary, and strengthened democracy. While the inauguration ceremony was filled with optimism, attention quickly turned to the actions of former President Macky Sall. Reports surfaced just days before President Faso's inauguration, suggesting that Sall planned to retire outside of Senegal. While retirement abroad is not inherently problematic, the timing of Sall's departure raises questions. Just hours following President Faye's inauguration ceremony, Macky Sall, seemingly prepared for the transition, swiftly departed the country. While the exact destination of Sall's flight remains undisclosed, reports suggest a possible escape to France. The question arises, why the sudden departure? Who or what is Sall evading? To grasp this, we must rewind to the beginning, when Macky Sall ascended to the presidency of Senegal in 2012. In his inaugural address, Sall pledged the dawn of a new era of governance marked by transparency and accountability in Senegal, heralding his victory as a beacon of hope. He vowed to tackle the concentration of power in the presidency, ushering in a more democratic system, and pledged to address issues of social justice and equality. Central to his campaign promises was the reduction of presidential terms from 7 to 5 years, reversing a term extension implemented by his predecessor, Wade. During his initial term, Sall prioritized infrastructural development, spanning both rural and urban areas. He secured a substantial $7.5 billion funding for an ambitious economic blueprint dubbed Emergent Senegal. This comprehensive plan aimed to revamp the economy by 2035 through strategic investments in agriculture, infrastructure, and tourism. Despite Sall's apparent strides in national development, the effectiveness of his efforts comes into question if the benefits of infrastructural projects fail to reach the people they are intended to serve. While Sall emphasized infrastructural development, the absence of adequate mechanisms to ensure the populace benefits raises concerns. Developmental projects often faltered due to the appointment of officials based on party allegiance rather than competence, leading to a focus on personal gain over good governance. In 2019, Sall secured re-election for a second term. However, his popularity began to decline rapidly as opposition leader Ousmane Sonko emerged as a formidable contender. Sonko, a former tax collector and mayor, garnered support for his stance against the status quo, challenging Sall's ties with France and foreign companies in extractive industries. Observing Sonko's growing influence, Sall initiated various schemes to thwart his electoral prospects. In 2021, Sonko was arrested on rape charges, a move widely perceived as politically motivated. Subsequent investigations revealed the accusations to be false. In 2023, he faced accusations of defaming a minister, which resulted in his disqualification from the presidential race. Shortly after Faye's arrest, Sonko himself was detained. These actions by Sall incited widespread anger, prompting protests across the nation. The majority of demonstrators, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, were young individuals frustrated by rampant unemployment and soaring living costs. But Sall's efforts didn't end there. He proceeded to dissolve Sonko's political party, taking further steps to secure his grip on power. As the 2024 presidential election approached, Sall contemplated seeking another term. However, in February 2024, he made a controversial announcement that threatened Senegal's democratic stability. Sall postponed the election until December, citing alleged corruption among presidential candidates as justification. The populace rejected this move, labeling it a constitutional coup. Many suspected Sall's motives, either to pave the way for his own re-election bid or to ensure victory for his party's candidate, Amadou Ba. Under mounting pressure from both citizens and foreign observers, the Constitutional Court deemed the postponement illegal. Consequently, the government announced that elections would proceed in March 2024. This marked the eventual conduct of the election, resulting in Dio Maifei's victory. Sall, recognizing the turmoil caused by his crackdown on opposition parties, media, and financial scandals, anticipated facing accountability under the new administration. In a surprising turn of events, former President Macky Sall made a move just days before the election. Reports surfaced that he submitted a draft law to Parliament proposing a general amnesty for political unrest incidents spanning from 2021 to 2024, a period coinciding with his presidency. This includes the turmoil caused by his controversial election postponement. Sall argued that the amnesty aimed at fostering national reconciliation. However, a closer look at the legislation reveals its true nature. It absolves all parties, including himself, from any criminal accountability related to the political upheaval. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International criticized this move, warning that it could lead to impunity for those involved in suppressing protests. Essentially, Sall was safeguarding himself from any repercussions stemming from his crackdown on opposition parties. His actions suggest that fleeing to France was yet another tactic to evade accountability. By seeking refuge in another country, he aims to shield himself from potential investigations and trials in Senegal. While this tactic may grant him temporary respite, it also ensures that he remains barred from returning to Senegal should legal proceedings proceed in his absence. As Macky Sall departs from Senegal after a 12-year tenure, many are relieved to see him go. His departure leaves behind significant challenges for the nation, notably concerning youth unemployment, a critical issue for Senegal's burgeoning young population, and a prevailing sentiment of economic mismanagement among the populace. According to a labor organization report in 2019, 60% of Senegal's population is under 25 years old, yet approximately 35% of them are without jobs. Additionally, about half of the country's 17 million citizens live below the poverty line. Migration to Europe also surged during Sall's administration, reflecting the desperation of many Senegalese seeking better opportunities abroad. The incoming President Dio Maifei and Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko face a daunting task ahead, inherited from Sall's administration. Senegal's citizens eagerly await tangible improvements under Faye's leadership, hoping for a brighter future. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video for more updates.